Sounds of Real Estate podcast coming to you live from the Advise Realty Services studio. With me, Nate Pryzbek. Nate,
how we doing?
How you doing, brother?
Doing great.
Nate, happy birthday. Let's start it out right there. Yesterday, the big guy's birthday. How old?
36.
36, man. Feels good to be young, right?
Feel old.
Yeah, I know.
This industry wears you.
Oh, it does, man. Today, you just saw like what we went through. Just to like,
yeah.
That was like a crazy. It's been a crazy Friday, but
we get stuff done though.
Eventful. You know what I mean? Like you're getting stuff done. We're working. We're doing what we have to do. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't just smiling a couple of minutes ago, but here we are, man. Just start talking.
We lift each other up.
We lift each other up. That absolutely, man. So, what'd you do for your birthday? Anything good?
Went to Parkville Market with my parents,
Nice.
my fiance Jess,
Nice.
and my nephew and my brother's girlfriend.
Nice. So that's good, man. Birthday, 36 years old, right? Lot
Feeling
of
great.
yeah, good future, as you just
Getting
said,
into
with
the
your
prime
fans.
of
Yeah,
my
you're
mortgage
getting-
lending right now.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like when some mortgage lenders hit their prime at 36, right?
Yeah.
Is
It's
what-
like
what they say.
athletes are maybe 25, 26.
Yeah.
It's 36 for lenders. So
Awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So a little bit of background, bro. Like what is I know a lot, I mean, from what we've talked about, you know, just knowing you and everything, you have a background in college
football coaching.
right?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It's man, it's always been a passion, just watching football and being too small to play, but
Yeah.
like watching it from the sidelines. So
Yeah.
I got into it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And it's University of Miami, the year, right?
So I was at University of Miami for a year, did a year at Fordham in the Bronx. And
I had a buddy of mine that played soccer at Fordham, so it's a pretty...
such a gorgeous campus and everything. Nice spot. Arthur Ave for some
Arthur Ave. We've been there.
some hoagies.
Some nice like fish markets and stuff like that,
oh my
and
gosh.
Italian restaurants. Really, really nice things there down at Arthur Ave. But I'm embarrassed to admit I've never been to like a legit college football game. You know what I mean? Like I see it on TV. I've tailgated, never actually made it in, but like, yeah, like the atmosphere, the band, like watching it on TV is
it's
amazing.
crazy.
So I could only imagine like what that's like being, and especially University of Miami. I mean, that's like the stories behind some of the teams that were there are unbelievable.
The 30 for 30 on
Oof.
like ESPN, like that's what got me into it. So I mean, I emailed 150 D1 schools once I graduated college, and I was like, I'm looking to get my foot in the door. Like, I'll take a volunteer job, anything. 2 responded, University of Miami and Oregon.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm not.
Oregon,
I prefer the
man.
weather. Oregon's cool, all the
Yeah.
Nike stuff, Phil Knight, but I was like, you know what? I'd rather grind my way down there at the U and get into it. So.
I mean, it's unbelievable. My buddy's kids visited the University of Miami for college, and they said it's like a city. So it's like it's unbelievable.
It's gorgeous for sure.
Yeah, and seeing it on TV, like I said, the bands and just the, I mean, Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, like The Rock. I mean, some of these people. What year were you there?
I was there 2014.
So 2014. Who was
Al Golden was the head coach.
There you go.
There's some guys still in the league from that team.
Yeah,
Ray Lewis's son was on the team. It was,
he's not like his dad though, right? Or no?
No.
No,
I don't think he plays anywhere. But Jimmy Graham, the tight end for the Saints, he was always in the locker room,
Nasty
and
football
weight room.
player.
So all those former pros would go back to the college to work out in the off season. It's nice all year round and great facilities. So that was always cool
That's
seeing
really
those guys.
cool. And I think the cool thing about that too is like it sounds like just listening to you talk about it, it sounds like something that was like not even work, more of like a passion. And that's like what I drill into the kids' heads
for
and
sure.
into everybody's heads. It's like you don't have to work, you know, every day. If you love what you do, it's not work. You're going there, you're having fun, you're learning, you're experiencing, you're helping teams, you're helping players and everything. That's huge.
And they create a culture where it's accountability for each other. So, like, if someone doesn't have good grades, your accountability partner has to run, and they get punished for your stuff. So, it's a culture and mindset where, like, we're all in this together. So, you don't want to let each other down, and that starts with trust and love for each other, too.
I think that's huge. I mean, one word that you touched there that's like my go-to is like the mindset. You know what I mean? No matter like what you're going through, what you have going on, if you have like a strong enough mindset to pull yourself through, it's always going to help you. And having like that, having your teammates being accountable for your mindset is huge because now you're like, shoot, man, I have to perform. if I don't perform, my teammates are going to have to be running laps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'd be pissed if I had to run laps for somebody
No
else.
doubt.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't even want to run them for myself. If I'm running them for somebody else, like, you know, you'd be pissed off. So you don't want to like let anybody down. You know?
Sure. And it starts with the seniority too, because there was times in the meeting room with the linebackers, the linebacker coach didn't even coach or say anything on tape. The captain stood up and was calling people out like, hey, you need to get your stuff together. This is embarrassing for all of us. So it's cool how like someone steps up and becomes that leader too.
I think it's awesome, man. I think there's always have to be, like, you know, even when we watch football today, or watching college football, there's always one person that stood out and was like the one that everybody like rallies behind. You know what I mean? Like Tim Tebow was, I mean, I used to watch him in college. He was like unbelievable. For sure. He would just get everybody pumped up, you know what I mean? And everybody just followed his lead. So I think that's huge, man. And that's awesome that you had that experience, you know? So then fast forward, how did we get into the mortgage?
I don't know.
Guru.
So I, after Fordham, I moved out to Chicago for a year and got into an entry-level processing job for mortgages. So calling employers, verifying people's employment, doing title searches, just learning kind of the processing aspect of it. And because that was a second language to me, I didn't know anything about mortgages. I took a whole bunch of training online that they provided just on my own. And then my onboarding specialist reached out and she's like, you're learning a lot. Do you want to become a loan officer? And I'm like, I don't think so. That's kind of over my head. She's like, well, you can make 6 figures. And I was like, sign me up. Let's go.
I'm in.
So
do it.
They trained me up for 2 months, passed the exam, met some cool people out there, and got into online lending, which was a lot of calling people on the phone. It was more salesy than I thought it was going to be. So eventually, after a year, I moved back home to Southington, assisted some loan officers, and kind of learned the ins and outs of retail mortgages, where you're not harassing people to do a mortgage. You're learning to work with them and see what their goals and needs are.
Yeah.
And you're not actually selling anything. You're advising them. You're communicating, educating them. No doubt. And you're forming a relationship.
We should have like a little bit of confetti dropping each time somebody says something like that.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Yeah. Some like ping. Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely, man. I totally get. I think that's a big misconception about this industry here. Is like a lot of people, if you say to them, hey, what do you do? You're like, oh, I'm a broker, or like, you know, real estate agent, whatever. I'm a lender. They're like, oh, I could never sell. You know what I mean? Like, it's not selling. Like, you know, we're not walking into homes and like, you need to buy this house or whatever. Like, you're advising people. You're bringing them through the process, you know? So I know we did talk about on like the football side of it, like calling a play, watching that play take off and happen and succeed is something that obviously as like a defensive coach or as any kind of coach is like, rah, like, you know, they get all crazy. So in this sense for us, I mean, obviously for you, like walking through somebody throughout the whole process and then getting them their home or telling them they have it clear to close is like that feeling. So it comes from like a passion aspect. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's the biggest thing. Obviously, like being available on time, closing on time, hitting all the contingency dates, that's huge. But when you walk through it with someone and you go over maybe the final closing disclosure with them, hey, do you have any questions about anything? Just them not being afraid to ask questions or, hey, no, everything was great, and getting great feedback. It's just, I'll be honest with you, like I'll ask for people's feedback too. Like, what could we do better?
Yeah. So I think like the education of the clients is huge. So like out of this whole industry, out of everything that you do, like what is it that you love? Like you absolutely love the most? Like you're like, hey man, this is like the favorite part of my job and like what I do, you know?
Just seeing the closing photos. Like I'll try to go to the actual closing most times. But you're not really there at the house when they're taking the photos and you see that smile on their face. Actually, super cool story with Mary too, because I was never a part of, I guess, the process where the agent tells the buyer, hey, we won the offer, they accepted your offer, and just hearing that on the phone when
you guys were in the office, I think, or something. Like that's pretty cool.
A couple months ago, and I was like, yeah, it's awesome. So
it is. I think it's like it's crazy to think that, like, you know, we have this much like influence on people's lives. Like, we really don't think about it. But they're like, when you do call them and say like, hey, that multiple offer situation, you guys got it. I found the perfect house for you. Or as you call them and say, hey, got you the clear close. You guys are all set. Like, that's like an awesome feeling. Like, just to hear them on the phone, it's like, woo, you know what I mean?
It's such a huge milestone.
Yeah. And I think for me, that's like something that I like thrive to do. You know what I mean? Like, you want to make sure that and that's obviously why the reasons like, we kind of connect so well is because like you're super into like education, telling them what they need to do for the long haul. Like, you want to be there for that last minute experience of like them getting the home. So I think that's like a great thing to have in this industry. You know what I mean? Not like a salesy commission breath type thing. Like, you definitely want to go out there and help them, which is pretty cool and excellent. I see that you obviously like, the social media thing for you is huge. For those of you who don't follow Nate, we'll make sure that we have all his stuff down here. But the Wisdom Wednesday, like, tell me a little bit about that. Like, what made you see that like that was a way for you to get your message out to people? I mean, I love it. I've been doing it, and I try to tell the agents it's super important for us to be out there. But like for you, what's like the benefit?
I honestly, April of 2019 was my first week as a fully licensed commission only loan officer. So we had just by coincidence someone come in marketing to millennials, and they said video's the way to go. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting paid next week, so what do I have to lose? So I started out with videos in my car and just talking about whatever, just to put some content out there. But then I'm like, you know what? I have to be more disciplined. I can't just do it randomly. So I like to be structured. So I'm like, Wednesday, wisdom. I'll learn something, whether it's a past experience, something that happened this week, or it's like a Housing Wire article, something new comes out. Like today, something came out with the different pricing for rates starting May 1st. So something's always changing, especially like education-wise as well in the mortgage industry and real estate. So it's good to be up on that and continuously take training. So there's always something to talk about, even if it's super simplified as far as down payments and stuff like that goes too. So, I mean, what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
I'll do a couple takes and cringe and make sure I don't swear and then post it and then never watch it again.
Oh, yeah. I've actually probably swore in a lot more of mine than I should have. You know what I mean? But I think it's just like emotion and you're getting it out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's a huge thing because like a lot of people will make up their own mind if you're not there educating them and telling them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if they wake up in the morning and see on the news that the interest rates are at 6 or 7%, they're just going to be like, honey, listen, we can't buy.
Right.
But if you're out there saying that, hey, there's other programs and educating them, then obviously it's going to make them, hey, wait a minute, maybe I could contact Nate and get some more information. And being top of mind, I always said, is like huge, And I think it's great because like even during COVID, like, we talked about COVID a little bit, changing like this whole industry. You know what I mean? Definitely. So how did you like feel that changed for the, for like the better? Like it made it like people.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously when rates dropped suddenly once COVID was happening, that was a huge boost to everyone. And for me, it didn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Mostly because it was my first year just completed. So I had 17 people who could potentially refinance, but a lot of other mortgage people and lenders had a whole refinance clientele that mostly they focused on that. And where me, I'm just like, I'm going to keep meeting real estate agents and keep finding first-time home buyers because that's what I've done. That's what I could do. So there was a lot of restrictions in the first few months for sure. And just verifying employment the day of closing, the day before closing, which is like excessive just because, hey, people were getting laid off left and right. So,
you never knew. You were like on a Monday you were working and then all of a sudden you're like, I have no job.
So it was definitely a much riskier time and there's a lot of precautions in place to take care of that. But no, overall it was similar to football where, hey, something happens in the middle of the game and you just got to flip it and go with the flow, like adapt or die. So
absolutely. You got a halftime and
learn
you sit
the guidelines, the new adjustments and know your stuff and do your deal. So
that I think that's huge. You always got to be able to, I mean, I think it's a business where you're constantly reinventing yourself. So you always have to get all the information out there, but you also have to be able to pivot and change and adapt and be able to do those different things. So
especially if you can't meet people or like 4 to 8 every weekend leading up to COVID just to meet people. after that, you're done. You can't meet people. There's no open houses for a while.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, then get back to content, do it on video, and kind of separate yourself with that.
Yeah, I think that's huge, and I think it's a really important thing for anybody starting out. I think this is probably the best way for you to be able to communicate with people, for them to get to know you before they come into an office and sit down with you in like an awkward setting or something. You know what I mean? Like you're meeting, you're having a few laughs, talking about some things. I think it's definitely beneficial, So I know like we went through an awesome time of rates being like super low. So now as these rates are creeping, like what's the advice? Like if I'm looking to purchase a house, or, our audience is out there, they're like, hey, I'm thinking about purchasing a house. I'm going to call Nate. Like, what's your best advice? Like, do we wait? Do we not wait? Like, what do we do?
Yeah. So coaching slogan for sure.
Yeah.
Motto is the separation is in the preparation. So you definitely there's no cost to get pre-approved, or even have a phone call. Just take a step back, like without even looking at credit, just to go over, hey, what are your goals? What do you want your payment to be? What do you want your down payment and closing costs to come out to? Because there's 0% down, there's 20% down, there's more. So going over your goals, how long are you going to be in the home for? Is it you're going to be there for 5 years or 10 years?
Yeah.
It helps the loan officer kind of find the best programs that fit your goals. So if you're renting for $1,500 a month, hey, I feel comfortable with that. Then we look at mortgage purchase price around $1,500, or sorry, a mortgage monthly payment around $1,500 a month. Does that mean putting less down, putting more down, lowering the purchase price, increasing it? It's just finding all the pieces to the puzzle, putting it together, and see what we're working with.
Yeah.
That kind of helps you at least get a good idea.
It's like a game plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
sure.
have to have a game plan. And I think the best thing is that a lot of people don't know, like you just said, it doesn't cost anything to get pre-approved.
Right.
It doesn't cost anything for you to call somebody and have a conversation and say like, hey, what are my numbers looking like? Where can I land? Where can I not? What can I afford? What can I like? And actually, like, if you have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, you're not ready right now, but if you do this for 3 to 4 months, you will be ready.
Exactly.
Boom. There's your plan of action, and then you follow it and go ahead, you know? So I think that's an important message. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't cost you anything. Sit down, get yourself educated on it, and then make a plan and go from there,
Yeah, like I definitely have my own flaws. Like I hate the dentist. No offense, dentists, but like
my wife's
I'm not going to bury. I'm not burying my head in the sand and not getting my teeth checked out or going to checkups. Like it might stink to be like, hey, I know my credit stinks, but what can we do? Like it's okay. We can figure out how to fix it. So whether it's a month or a year, you're going to be pre-approved. It just depends on following that game plan and seeing what you could do
to get there. I mean, I think like that's something that I hear all the time as far as credit. Like, oh, my credit sucks. Like, okay, so does like 75%.
Right. People don't even know like 580 could get you a loan.
Yeah.
So I spoke to someone yesterday they're like, I have a 690. I probably won't be approved for anything. I'm like, that's overqualifying. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's stuff that unfortunately people just like, follow what they see and say like, okay, I mean, follow what they hear and be like, okay, yeah, I can't get pre-approved if that's my, if that's my score. And lo and behold, like you just said, you're like overqualified all of a sudden, So that's awesome. So I know we touched a little bit in the beginning as far as engaged, honeymoon planned.
Oh yeah.
From what I hear,
go see
Amalfi, right?
Yeah, dotting the T's, crossing the I's. So going to Italy, we just got to figure out when we're flying into where and what we're hitting up there. So
so I could just tell you.
I Googled some golf courses.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Golf courses in Amalfi, I don't know. You might have to go like a little bit outside. But flying into Rome, it's like a 3-hour drive to Amalfi, and you're gonna love it, man. It's one of the most beautiful places. And I think I said last time I'll definitely give you like some lists and places and stuff you have to go.
I'm sure the
football.
pictures don't do it justice.
Oh, pictures don't, man. You wake up in the morning and take that like scenery in every time because like you'll never see anything like it.
Absolutely. Actually, I was gonna hit you up for whoever's playing like Serie A or whatever.
Oh yeah, Napoli.
Like those,
that's my team.
Yeah,
that's about
check out a game.
Yeah, that's about 45 minutes to like an hour away from where you. Napoli or Salernitana would probably be like the closest games to where you could go watch an Amalfi. Yeah, so that would be just be careful. But I'll give you some pointers when you're ready to go. Football this weekend, man.
Oh yeah.
So Super Bowl prediction. Who's gonna out of the teams left?
Oof, that's tough.
We got a good mix in the off. I think we have Dallas, Giants.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else that fans like that are in the playoffs. But
Well, you know what? Call me a front runner, but I'm gonna go Chiefs Eagles.
wow,
Chiefs win 31-28.
ooh, you heard it here.
Score.
Yeah, no bets. No, can't bet. We're not giving out spoilers, but yeah, that's Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is an awesome player. Yeah. I kind of would like to see Josh Allen and the Bills do it.
Oh yeah.
The NFC. I mean, yeah, there's a couple.
It'll be
I
fun.
think it'll be good. Yeah, there's a lot of good
High-scoring
teams.
teams.
Oh yeah, exciting. It's like exciting football, which is good. You know.
For sure.
So yeah, man. Well, hey, it was a pleasure having you, Nate.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's definitely good convo. Again, guys, if you are in, I don't even want to say if you're in the market, but if you have questions regarding financing, where to start, what you need to do, Nate, look in the camera, tell them where they can find you, what they can do, how they can contact you.
Geez, wherever you want. 860-302-0645 is my number. But yeah, it's like Planet Fitness philosophy. It's a no judgment zone. So
Yeah.
feel free to ask me anything.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have his number somewhere around here and information. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Sounds of Real Estate. Nate, thank you again. Congratulations to you and your fiance.
Appreciate it.
Happy birthday. See you guys next time.